welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mod, and today guys we're going to continue with our Delorean build. So we're going to do pack 2 of the extension, which is stages 136, 137, 138, 139 and 140. So yes, like before, in the previous first pack that we did of the extension, we are doing these in pack at the moment because in some of them there's just not a lot to do, especially when you're doing the rail ties and everything like that. So there is the hood box, which is incredibly detailed, and there is quite a bit to do in that. But the rail ties, they really don't take a lot to do at all. So yeah, nice quick issues really for this one. But let's get started on this one today because I think we've got enough to build. So with all that said, let's get modelling. Okay, let's get started. So, pack 2 of the extension. So here is what we've done on the rail so far. I'm just going to take that off because it really doesn't do much. But what we're going to be doing today, we're going to have in a second rail. And we've got the rail ties to put in. These I don't keep the rail in place like it says in the instructions because it's just a pain. But we're screwing these in. We've got 4 of these to put in. And they need 2 EP screws. Now, to save my wrist, especially when doing these packs, I have brought the wow stick down just to help me put these in, because if not, it's a really drains your wrist when you're doing this. That's one in. Another one to put in here. If not, this would be like 8 screws to put in. That's a lot of screws. A lot of screws. And this just helps. So you still have to give it a little bit of torque just to get it in, because it's not the ideal torque on it, but that's the way it is. Now I don't think that screw went in properly, so I'm just gonna bring that back out and try again. Better. You kind of tell when they don't go in properly. Like that one hasn't gone in properly. Okay, so that one's in. Okay, last 2 screws. This has made it a lot easier for me. You know, you still have to do some. Okay, that's another one in. Just get the final screw in. Okay, and if we just put this on now just to show you. So that's our second rail in. I'll put the first rail in. And that's what that looks like at the end of this issue. So that is issue 136 complete. Okay, so on to stage issue 137. Now I've organised all my parts out just to make sure they're nice and tidy. These bits here actually came on sprues, so I've actually sorted them out into order of how I need them. So the first thing we need is these 2 pieces here. Now these are going to be going on I believe it's a half moon shape, so it can only go on one way. Just push that just down into place like that. Then we need this part here, and we're going to be putting this just on this far end over here. And then we need to screw that down, just lining the hole up. There we go. With an NP screw. Now I'm going to use a manual screwdriver for this, only because I just need that little bit of extra control on it. The wow stick is great, but when you're doing something like this, which is quite delicate work, you need that extra bit control with the screwdriver. Okay, now if we bring our hood box across, this is literally just going to go onto the cover of this here. That bit coming off there, the stick is coming undone. So this is just going to go over and literally cover all them bits and pieces in there. Just like that. Okay, right. So next what we need is we need this detail here. And what it's asking us to do, we've got a little cutout there, so we've got to orientate this correctly, even though it does matter when we put it in, but it doesn't matter as we put the bits in. So what we need from this little box of tricks is we need off the sprues. Now I've got these off already, what they're calling F61s. That's just going to go from underneath, if I can. It's very, very small work. Okay. And then we're covering that with an F45, which is one of these. And literally this is just going to slot over it. Okay. Now we need to repeat that 3 more times. Okay, that's another one in. I think the hood box issues are the ones that are definitely going to be the longest in these issues of the builds. Because they are quite tricky to do. Now I'm making sure I squeeze them because I don't want them rattling around. So we've got the last one going in. Okay, so that's now in. I'm just making sure that photo actually isn't bent out shape. We're now going to be putting this onto the hood box. So if we bring it across, now looking at it from this way on, they've got this going in more or less just there. Okay, so that is being screwed in with the tiny QP screws. So I'm going to get a 00 screwdriver for these, because these are tiny. That's not wanting to go in. It's been a little bit difficult. Just try it with the 0. Let's just see if that gets it in. Oh, it does. Okay, so that's in. I'm not doing these up too tight because it doesn't really need it. Ah, blast it. I've had one come out there, so I'm going to have to take that screw out. Just fix that. Easily done. There we go, see, just popped out. I might be tempted, maybe, if this is going to happen, to put some micro crystal clear just to hold these in, because I did that with the plutonium rods, and that worked out pretty well. Right. Just going to test fit that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So what I did before is it was a little bit out of shape, the photo etch. So as I was trying to bend it to get the next screw in, it popped out. You've got to be careful with photo etch. It is so brittle and can bend so easily. It's not my most favourite thing to work with in the world. Okay, that's one in there, and then we'll get this second one in. If you look at the amount that's got to go into this hood box, so we've got a lot to do. Okay, that's going in. That's fine. I'm just going to get a flat ruler because they're sticking out a little bit and I'm not too happy about that, so I'm just going to push down and just bring them level. There we go. I'm happy with that. Okay, right, so moving on to the next stage. Next, what we need is we need this piece here, and what we're going to be doing, we've got 7 bits to put in next. So first we need an F63, which are these here. So it's a case of bobbing that up through there. Then on top of that is an F51. And again, just same as before, push it in to get it in home. It's nice to be doing this extension because I just want the whole thing though. Even though I was told this is very fiddly, I was told this was very fiddly, but I think it's definitely going to be worth when it's done. And I just like a completed model. I don't want to know that there's an extension on something and I haven't done it. That one's pretty loose. Not too happy with that one. That's pretty loose. So I'll try another one. If it's not as loose. Again, that is pretty loose. I don't know what's going on there. Try again. Yeah, it's very loose is that one. So I think it's the pin that's quite thin. So I'm just trying it on another one. Yeah, the pin is really thin. So I'm just seeing if there's one which has got quite small, and that one will sandwich it actually. So trial and error really. Find one that works, and if it works, put it in. So hopefully when I put this one in now, it'll clamp. Right, guys, I think the best thing for me to do is to do this off camera and then come back, because there's a lot to do here. So I'll be back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, I'm back. So I've got all them in now. They're looking superb. That was very fiddly. Right, so next what we need to do, we need to get another one of these. This is marked F62. Bit bigger these ones, so hopefully they're a lot easier. But saying that, yeah. And then we need to go over it an F49. So that's in place. Fantastic. And then finally we need an F61. So another F61. They were the first ones we used. Okay. That. Damn it. Okay, that's in. And then over that is an F50. And they are all into place. Now we need to put these onto our hood box. So these are going to be going in just down into here. And again, they are going in with the tiny QP screws. Wow, these are small screws. At least with the hood box, you know, it does give you quite a bit to do. You just got to make sure you line up the screw hole spot on perfect. Okay, I'll try and get this in. It's a little off, but we can try. Now, it's a little bit off center is the screw hole. In fact, this piece here, I'm going to get it in it more, because I think it's stopping that screw hole from lining up properly. Right, I'll try now. Got it. Okay, get the big screwdriver in there now to tighten that up. That wasn't easy. Right, we need another QP screw. just sort of push that down. Start it off and then tighten it. Okay, so that's now in place. The last thing we need to do is we need these parts here. These are just going to fit over the top, just like so. And then this, God, they don't make this easy, do they? This is going to go in down here. Now, luckily, we're screwing that from underneath, and that is going to be screwed in with 2 AP screws. Good old APs. That's one. So there is a lot to go on this, I've got to admit. And that is 2. And that is all there is to do in this issue. Wow. Okay. So we've done them bits there, we've done them bits there, and we've put that in there. Okay, so that is issue 137 complete. Okay, so moving on to issue 139, I believe, no, 138, sorry. We've got another railroad tie, so if we bring our railroad across, I'm just going to take these off, just to make life a little bit easier. First, what we need to do, we've got a tie railroad here, and we've got these bits to put on. Just like that. And then we need to screw them down with 4 EP screws. So I'm going to use the wow stick for this. Just makes life easier. Okay, that's one in. That's 2 in. That's 3. That's 4. Okay. Next, what we need to do, bring our railroad across just here, and we need to, right, it's already connected to it. We need to basically tie this together, and this is going to be going on just like so. It says there's 2 of these railroad ties, but oh, there's one there. So we're going to be securing these 2 together again with 2 EP screws. Okay, one more. Okay, and that's it all tied together. We've got these little joining brackets, but we don't need to use them yet. So that is issue 138 complete. Okay, so at issue 139, we have got another railroad here. We've got these bits to put in. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get them all on here. And then we'll screw this in with 8 EP screws. Well, actually, it's only asking us to put 2 of them in. So, okay, well, we'll have to save the others for a later issue. That's one in there. That saves me screwing more stuff in. There's another one in. That's another one in. Okay, so if we were to have this on, basically this is our second railroad, just on there like so. There's no point leaving that on because that is just going to wobble everywhere, so I'll just take it off for easier storage for now. But that is stage 139 or issue 139 complete. Okay guys, so on to issue 140. Okay, so we're working more on the hood box again. So the first 2 parts we need is this part here. This is going to be going on to there, just like that. Then we need this box here. It doesn't say what this is. I haven't got a clue what it is, but yeah, it's asking us to place this on. Okay, and then we need to screw that from underneath with an AP screw, which we'll do now. Okay, so that's in place. Next we need is this part here. This is just going to slot into here, and then we're screwing that down with another AP screw from the inside. Okay, that's into place. Next we need is this little sort of monitor here. This is just going to fit onto here. Should be a nice push fit connection, which it is. That's gone in nice. And then we need this part next. This is going to go on to here. There's a big lug and a small lug, so it can only go on one way. Okay, so that's our little box done. We need to put this into the hood box next, and this is going to be going on just over these lugs here, and then we need to screw this in from underneath with 2 AP screws. That's one. And that's two. So that's in place. Now the next thing is going to send me absolutely bam because we've got 3 pipes to put in. So what we're going to do first, we're going to get one of the pipes. Now this pipe is going to go just through here on top. And then we're going to train this down to go in to, we've got a hole just down onto here. This is really small detail. Just even seeing the hole is a bit of a nightmare. Making sure this is going at the right point. Right, there's like little prongs. I was supposed to get it on top of them, but I think one of mine's just broken. So let's resort to a bit of good old fashioned putting some glue on. I'll just hold that wire in place for a few seconds, hopefully while it glues in. Not the easiest to do. Oh, I thought it got in then. Right, okay, so that's in place. Right, so the next one is a little bit further up. I'm going to try and get this actually on to it first of all. I'm going to use a little bit of glue. I think that's just going to make life a little bit easier for me. Okay, so that one's in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the third one. So while that glue is drying, I can then put them on. It's a little bit out of sequence, but I think it's going to be easier to do it that way. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that in place for Few seconds while the glue takes. Shouldn't take too long. That's if the wire stays in place. Should be a dab hand at this though, with all the pipes we did on the Rosser. Should be. Okay, so that's just drying now. So what I can do next is I can put the next one in. Now it's going to go into, we've got sort of two holes just here. So this first one I did is going to go into the hole on the right. And then the last one is going to go into the hole on the left. Right, let's hope we don't have any more like that to do. Okay, so that's what that's looking like. Okay, so next thing we need to do, quite labour intensive is this. We've got some sort of well, not like springs, but I think they're more I don't know, you find them like on power plants, but we've got some red and we've got some black, so we need to put these onto place, and these just going on top of here. That's one in there. One in there. Okay, then we've got two black ones to put in. One in there. One in there. Okay. Right, so next we have got some bits to put onto this. Some more of the I think the capacitors, I'm not too sure, but we need to note that we've got this section here, which is a curved cutout section. And what we need to do is we've got these bits here that we've had before. And starting from that curved cutout section, we're going to put one, if it don't fly everywhere, one through. And then we need one of these bits putting on. So we'll get another. And put another bit on. Right, just dropped a bit, guys, so be back in 2 seconds while I find this.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, I'm back, found it. Didn't go into oblivion. Oh, next one. Okay. So that's them two in place. Next we've got ones with like a tip on the top that are going to go in. So push that through. That was a nice fit. And then we'll put this last one on. Okay, so I've got a couple that are loose here that I'm not happy with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these pliers I got from harsher, see if they're wide enough. If not, I can use my duck build pliers just to sort of squeeze these together so they're not moving around. I'll make sure they're nice and tight. There we go, they're not moving around them. One thing I just don't want these bits moving around all over the place. Okay, so next what we need to do, we just need to put this onto the hood box now. So, bring the hood box over. So this is going to go on just down here. Now, that curly bit there is going to go around this sort of whole bit on there. And these are going in with QP screws. So again, the tiny, tiny little screws. So that's one in. And then we've just got one more to put on. Just tighten them out of the one, just a little bit more. There we go. And that is our hood box at the end of this issue. Wow. So that is looking really smart. The railroad is looking brilliant. So that is issue 140 complete, and also pack 2 of the extension complete. Well guys, that's it for issue 140 of the Build Back to DeLorean, and for pack 2 of the extension for the DeLorean. I didn't think we'd get 2 hood box issues in this pack. I thought we were just going to get 1, but yeah, they sent us 2 in this one, so it's a little bit more difficult, but and also a little bit longer on the video, but yeah, it's looking superb. I'm really happy with it and how things are coming along. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell and you'll be notified of any future videos. But as for always, stay safe and bye for now.